Hello, thank you for tuning in to this week's section of reads. This should be on YouTube channel James 13 Wicca. I just want to make sure that's where you're seeing it. If you're not, I'm on YouTube, James 13 Wicca. I'm going to put the decks and dice and stuff like that below. If you want a personal reading in person, I am in Herkimer, New York, or close to it, I should say, doing personal readings in Herkimer, New York. There's a store called Renewed and Rescued if you want to check it out. The hours they're open or the hours I can do that, just shoot me an email and I'll let you know if there's time available. Also, if you want a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. With all that said, let's go ahead and get into your reading. Hello, Aries. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Aries? Disruption. Disruption? Okay. Don't know why I had to say that word, but there we go. I mean, Aries can handle it, I know, but it's just the fact that that just flew out of my mouth. Okay. Why not? Why not? You gotta choose you. Why would you not be choosing you? Why would you not choose you? Okay, let's keep going. So Aries is a complicated energy, in my opinion, because they can be a lot of fun. They can be very harsh, but they do, like, they have a heart. Like, I don't know why people don't think they do. I've talked to a couple people, and I don't know. Aries, definitely, they feel things. They have deep feelings, in my opinion. When something means something to them, they do a lot to make it work. They can be extremely dedicated, in my opinion. But when that happens, the situation has proven its worth. And you can feel like this makes sense. This is what I want it to be. It's loyal to me, therefore I am loyal to it. Whatever it may be. I feel like that's an Aries thing. Let me know if I'm wrong. But like, when something has proven its loyalty to you, honestly, whether it's something you want or not, it will have an effect. Kind of like, all right, it's showing it's loyal to me. What do I want to do with it? I feel like it has, like, that has some weight. I do feel like it has some weight. And if you don't want it, you'll usually, in my opinion, Aries will make it very blunt and clear, like, thank you for the loyalty, but I don't want it. I feel like Aries is that one. Like, listen, okay, I understand, but no. On the other side, though, if it's loyal to you and you are, you want that, you'll show appreciation for it, is what I'm getting. And the more it gives you loyalty, am I right? Or am I messing something up here? If it really shows its honor and dedication to you, you will repay that. That's how I see Aries. All right, let me know in the comments if I'm cuckoo pants, then I'm cuckoo pants. But that's how I see Aries. Like, if something proves it's going to be good to you, you'll be good to it right back. Especially if you want it. I think that's a bigger piece of it. If you actually want it, I do think that's a bigger piece. Maybe that's why I keep playing around. Like, if you want it, and like, okay, I'd like that. Yes, that's good. And whatever the situation is, the energy is like, it's you being loyal to you is in question here, which is very interesting to me. Because I feel like maybe I've gotten very used to something. It feels a little static. Now this card, the masculine with the 2 of Pentacles, 2 of trees is pentacles, 2 of Pentacles, earth, if you will. You have, in the past, you have made a long-term decision, which is coming up into question soon. Not in a bad way. We'll take that with a grain of salt. But the masculine card, it depends how you feel about the energy, the masculine energy. To me, it can be very much by the book. And there's certain periods in life where that's more effective. There's other periods in life where that kind of gets in the way. When this was established, I feel like I made a decision This made sense. It all looked good on paper. It matched how I felt. Not only looked good on paper, I felt the way it looked on paper. So therefore, I said yes, and there we go. I made a long-term decision. Like an analogy I would give would be like going to college or university, whatever that is, wherever you are, for like a 6-year commitment. It's going to take me 6 years at least to get what I want from this. This is kind of like analytically, this makes sense to me. I'll get what I want. I'll be able to do what I want. I'll learn what I need to learn to succeed here. I'm committing to this long-term commitment here is what I'm getting. Could be something more. I don't know. I'm cringing on this one. So if it's offensive to anybody, I don't mean it to be, but this could be, this could be like marrying somebody, making that type of commitment to where maybe something has changed. I mean, I'm just going to be flat out honest. I'm more liberal when it comes to that type of thing. It's kind of like it may fit for a good decade, even 2 or 3, but if at some point it reaches its limit, I'm the type of person where I feel like it's better to address it like, all right, it's reached its limit. Maybe we have to look at this differently. Other people are like, well, no, I said I'd do it 3 decades ago, but I guess since I said 3 decades ago I wanted it, I have to keep it for the rest of my existence. Y'all gotta feel the way you gotta feel. So I don't mean that to be insulting, so if that doesn't fit you, don't worry about it. I'm just saying. That's an analogy. Because something's coming up into question. And something I'm very entangled in. Maybe I do want to be released from. But at the same time, whatever it was, is like, I made this commitment. I fully thought I would be here for the whole thing. I could be 3 years into a 6-year degree. And I'm just like, I thought I really did. But 3 years into it, things are changing. It's been a long time since I've been in college, but how I remember it, it was like, I remember getting so far in, and then I'm like, oh, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. And I remember saying, like, my first step was like, the credits I've already attained, what does that easily transfer into, or what can I get most of them to transfer into that I'd actually want since I'm changing my mind? I feel like that was the first step, and I feel like it's something like that going on here. I feel like for those of you that this is hitting with, whatever the situation is, I'm trying to look at ways where, like, is there a negotiable with this situation? Is there? Because I feel like I'm very entangled in it and I'm very tied up in it, and I've built a lot into it, but I'm partly like, I would like out of this. But I'm at the same time going, yeah, but I can't. I mean, I could, but I can't. I feel like that keeps happening. I feel like that argument is going on in my own head. Like, I can't. I mean, I could, but I can't. I mean, technically I could, but I can't. And I feel like I keep doing I feel like that keeps coming back around. One of the ways you might be actually working through this at the moment is that you're highlighting everything that's good, and you're trying to bring up that energy as much as possible, and you're making a really good, really, really, really good moment here. Whatever the situation is, you're like, you know what? I've committed to another semester, for example, if it was a college thing. I'm committed to another semester, and I've added in some extra courses that'll keep me entertained. Let's say that. It kind of reminds me of, like, you got to have a gym requirement, so I'm like, I'll throw in badminton. That's not too stressful, and that's fairly fun. Let's do that, or volleyball, or something, golf, I don't know, whatever, you know what I mean? Or maybe throw in an art course, or something that, like, I can do it, I can make the requirement, and it's enjoyable. I feel like I'm adding some enjoyable energy here. Like, I'm not changing things, I'm just adding something a little enjoyable to, like, make it a little bit more fun for me. But, as reality does, if this is hitting, take it with a grain of salt. Readings are for entertainment purposes only. You know I was going to say it sooner or later if you've seen any of my other videos. Like, sooner or later I usually say it. It's true. I'm just saying. I'm feeling on the outside. I'm doing it. I enjoyed some of this, but I'm like, it could be as that situation is coming to a close, like as the semester's coming to a close, as this moment passes, my heart is going towards change. I want a change. And I'm feeling like I'm on the outside of my inside situation. Like I'm in it, I'm doing it, people like me, but I'm feeling disconnected. I feel like this is what this is telling me. I'm feeling disconnected, and my heart is trying to go somewhere else. Take it with a grain of salt. This is either happening or it's not. Opportunity is like, I feel like opportunity is lurching towards me, like, lurching out of the swamp, like it's just coming slowly. I feel like opportunity is coming. It's like, Aries, I know you want to see me. I'm coming. It's opportunity. Here we come. It's almost like a little nefarious. You know what I mean? I mean, if I didn't make it creepy enough myself. I think Aries thrives the most when they. All right, take this with a grain of salt. I say this a lot. This one makes me a little nervous. When you open your mind and give yourself a chance to think it through, Aries thrives. Also, when Aries does that, though, and you probably already know this, when you open your mind up to possibilities and you start really thinking about them, it becomes much more likely that you're going to probably do them. Not always, but much more likely. Take it with a grain of salt, of course. I'm going to say that a lot more during this reading because it's one of those readings. You are very self-sufficient. When you've decided you're going to make something happen, you will find a way to make it happen, and it will happen. This is what this purity card, I don't know. The imagery on it kind of throws me a little bit. It's a little bit. But I'm getting like something blinding is coming forward. Like the opportunity is bam right there, and I feel like it fits with this card because personally, I just feel like I need to address this. Like purity with a white lady on there with blonde hair. I just feel like it's very. I don't know if I really like care for that. I'm just like it's a bit much. I just feel I don't know. It makes me a little uncomfortable sometimes. Like, ooh, that's what we're saying purity is. Like, just seems a little bit much. But then it's coming. It fits for this situation though. It does. It's like I'm uncomfortable with it, but possibilities are coming. The magician is showing up. Kind of like, you have a wish. You have a wish, Aries, because I'm here. Hello. And you're like, I'm not opening the door. Or are you? Like, it's not just the magician and that purity card. It's also the Ace of Swords and focus. There's a moment going on here. And I'm getting this reading as trying to get you to look at something and really make peace with what you want. To like really let yourself run through the options, because you might be surprised what comes out of this and what happens next. Squishing that all in one there. You might be surprised at what happens and what actually comes next from this process. It's coming. It's coming. Again, I keep feeling like it's lurching out of the swamp. Like, opportunity is here. I'm coming for you, Aries. Like, it feels like that to me. Excuse me. I don't feel like it's going away. It just reminds me of one of those after-school specials, or what was it? What would that show? Goosebumps or whatever, where you could try to run away from it and think you got away from it, but it just keeps coming back. It just keeps coming back. You can clearly make your own decision, obviously, but you can decide that you're going to shut that down, you're going to ignore it, and you're just going to be like, I'm just going to pretend that's not an issue, and I'm just going to soldier forward with what I'm doing, and I'm just going to be as self-sufficient as I need to. I'm just going to keep my thoughts and feelings to myself on this one. I'm not going to let myself even look down that direction. As far as I'm concerned, West doesn't exist anymore. Everything is East, North, and South. East, North, and South. There is no West. I don't know what West is. What are you talking West? West has never been a thing. Or, this is very interesting. Literally, honor your energy. Honor what really matters to you. Let yourself look into this and find out what you really feel, because, take it with a grain of salt. I told you I was going to say that a lot more. I'm sure you're shocked. You may not change direction, but you might find what is missing. So this reminds me of like, I don't know exactly how medical school goes, just to be fair, but it reminds me of somebody telling me the story, and I don't think I really understood it at the time, but it seems like it makes more sense now. As they were progressing through the levels, they decided at some point that they needed to kind of add some other things in so that they could actually go into the niche they wanted to go. So there were certain things they had to add in, and then they had to be honest with themselves what they actually wanted. And it was still a good option, but it maybe wasn't the most lucrative option that they wanted to go into. So they had to make peace with, like, all right, this is what I want. Maybe my parents aren't going to be happy with this because it's not as lucrative, but it's what I want, and it will make my life what I want my life to be. And they had to add in some stuff. They didn't have to get rid of what they were doing, that they had to add in some things so that they could actually hone it in to get where they actually wanted to be. um, so there's no guarantee that like the whole thing is going to fall down, just to be fair. But they're saying there might be some like refocusing or redefining, like, I still want to get to the finish line, but my race isn't going to end at that finish line. I actually need to add in a couple other things so I can actually go over where I want to. Like, I was going to end up in this city, but actually I'm going to veer over here and end up in this town, which is I have to go through that city to get there. So I'll technically finish that race, but I'm going to go on over to here. I just need to kind of be honest with myself with what I actually want so that I can start planning for that and make that go forward accordingly so that I can attain the goal I actually want. That might be literally what happens here. It's a general read, so it's kind of like, unless you are loyal to yourself and go through your own thoughts and feel out what you really want, I feel like it's like listening to something on a staticky radio. It's kind of like, I think I know what the song is, but not really. It sounds like a song, but wait a minute, that beat's a little different. Maybe not. It's kind of like, all right, I got to fix the radio station here, for those of you who know how to do that, because I don't think... Anyway, when I was a kid, you used to kind of turn the dial to fix the radio station. Doesn't matter. Moving on. We're going to focus the signal so we can actually hear what's going on, so we know what's happening, so we can get into that song, so we can be like, oh, that's what's going on. That's why I don't feel right. There's so much static here. I wasn't understanding what was really going on. I was just trying to enjoy it with the static. I was trying to not challenge it. But now that I did challenge it, I honed it in, I focused it up. I see that's what's not been feeling right. That's what I've been a little bit uncomfortable with. This is what I actually want from this situation. And this can easily be a moment where you just need to keep it to yourself, whatever that may be. Whatever it may be a moment where you just keep it to yourself and you just kind of sit with it for a minute and you're like, I know what I want now. I want to look at my options on my terms. I don't really want people to know, because I don't want people to get ideas. Well, you said you were going to do that, but now you're going to do this. I don't want people bothering me with that. So it's kind of like, let me hold it back. Let me research on my terms. And when I've made my final decision on what I'm going to do, I'll bring it forward accordingly. And I feel like that makes complete sense. Complete sense for Aries. You will realign it, you will put it where you want to, and when you have it set and you've stabilized your new trajectory, you'll then bring the information forward as you want when you're ready. And I feel like people will find out what you're going to do as you're moving forward. It's kind of like, it's almost like the analogy I'm getting here is kind of like, I've decided I'm going to move to Boston. And, no, I've already signed the lease. It's kind of like that. Like, oh, I've decided I'm moving to Boston. When are you going there? Well, I've already signed the lease. Oh, you've already signed the lease. Yep, I'm taking another load tomorrow. Another load? Yeah, I've already taken 2 loads over to the new place I'm going to live at. Oh, that's how I feel like this is going to come forward when you've made your decision. I'm not saying that's right, wrong, or indifferent. You decide what's right for you. You do what's right for you. But that's how I feel this is. If it kind of goes this way, I feel like that's how things are going to change. If things need to change or update, whatever they need to be. I think we're good. I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thanks again for watching, and have a great day.